GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered.
And that's MVS and Justin Watson.
With some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is he?
How good
is it? Let's get it. GMGP. What's going down, everybody? It is Friday, December 27th, 2024. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with Ray. No Jay this morning. It's all your boy. It's all me. No Jay Rich, but we in the damn building. 2 hours past the regularly scheduled time. But y'all know it's the holiday season, all that good stuff. But my peoples is in the building. It's me and my peoples. We got Big Diaz. What's popping with you? Alex in the building. Marlon, how you doing, my friend? Fizzle Dollars, what's popping with you? Fizzle in the building. What's good with you? Richie, Ty DeClaire in the building. Nick in the building. Big Diaz, Tanker, 2532. Little Santa's helpers, bring daddy the coffee, baby. Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you. Who else we got in the building? Man, Alex in the building. Mick Khabib, Marlon, Dro C, Cash Me Out, Leo Scott. Ray gonna have a fresh out the bed hair. Nah, ain't no hair, but we got a fresh, clean shave, baby. I appreciate everybody tapping in after y'all's holiday, Christmas break. Got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. Football, we got 304 in the building. We're live on X. We're live on the tube of you, and we got to talk about it. A lot of football, college, NFL. GMGP to you, Richard. How you doing, Richard Campbell? What's going on, baby? Appreciate you checking out the content on the stream as well. A lot to talk about, but I want to start off with some information y'all may have missed, some cool stuff y'all may have missed, and I want to bring up something that we're going to do live this Sunday. Myself, along with some of the creators over here at DD, we have advanced quite far in the underdog tournament world. So I want to pull this up for y'all real quick because Scott and I, well, really me, Scott might jump on for a little bit. I don't know if he's there, but your boy will be there all day on Sunday for a live $100,000 sweat. Yes, you heard me right. 100K. Your boy Ray G, your boy GQ. You know, a lot of people, oh man, do these fantasy analysts actually win shit that they're talking about? Do they actually advance, do well in these tournaments? Well, right now, I'm currently in first place in the Badge Bros Brawl and leading. I'm up 50K right now. It's still early. We've had a couple of games on, but I'm in first place, 170 team seat final. You go to Underdog Fantasy, you pull it up, it's showing your boys in the lead, first place, 50K. Scott is in the top 20 of the marathon. If you win the marathon, I think that's $300,000 inside the top 20. I'm inside the top 50 of the marathon right now, so I got a shot to take that down. Scott's got a shot to take that down. I'm also top 50 in the slow puppy and like top 50 in the Pomeranian, but I don't think I'll win that. Got a lot of players out, but I am in first place in this Badge Bros Brawl, and the roster's good, so your boys got a shot to take home the title, $50,000. We're going to go live on Sunday morning, so we're doing start, sit, talking bullshit, talking football, all that stuff. So just hang out. It's going to be a fun watch party and giving away stuff. We talked about this on the last show on Monday prior to the break, but I got a lot of stuff that I want to give away. I've got hats. If we win the 50K, it's going to be dope. I'm not going to give any money away because I got to pay taxes, but we got boxes. I got signed Puka Nacua jerseys that people from the NFL draft stream didn't pick up. So we're going to do a big giveaway this week. I'm going to do this before the new year, so make sure you pull up this Sunday. Now, here's the thing. Y'all know GQ, we like to do some different things on the channel, so here in 2025, we are going to bring more fantasy football content to you. Shane and Scott, Manic and Chill, all types of things, roster construction, dynasty theory, rookie mock drafts, betting content. We're going to bring a ton of new content to you all here in 2025. So if you want to enter into this to get free shit on Sunday and vibe out with us, as well as get you some merch, some NFL team merch, some DD merch, you got to watch this on the new DD Fantasy Football YouTube channel. That's right. Right now, I want everybody that's watching the stream, if you want all the dope fantasy football content moving forward in 2025, Wake Up stays right here. This is the channel that Wake Up's going to be on. All my NFL rookie mock drafts, rookie content on this channel. But Scott, Dynasty Theory, Shane, all the other crew members from DD will be on the new Fantasy Football YouTube channel. Let me pull that up real quick, show y'all what it looks like. Here it is. Real simple. No subscribers. Look at that. DDFFB. DDFFB on YouTube. Go sub right now. If you support the show, if you support the channel, if you support your boy, you've been rocking with me since 2019. Just take your mouse, stay on this channel, right? Stay subscribed here. But go to DDFFB on YouTube. It's the new DD Fantasy Football YouTube channel. This is where I will be doing the live stream from on Sunday. And when you're there and we do the giveaway, if you're not subbed to that channel, you're not watching on that channel, you don't get free shit. So that's what it is. Go to the new YouTube channel. This is where all the fantasy football content from our fantasy football creators will live. This channel that you're currently watching me on is going to be me. It's going to be OGQ. It's going to be me and Jay Rich on Wake Up. So go to DD Fantasy Football, sub to the new YouTube page, get access to all the new shit that we're going to drop. It's going to be a good time. And then finally, if you missed it, it's 2025 season. It's rookie profile season. It's rookie draft season. We dropped this on the channel. Caleb Johnson video is up. His prospect overview. The profile is up on the channel. So make sure you go peep that. Check that out. Support the movement. Support everything that we're doing over here at DD. Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. Kong the Kang said, I'm in the BBM finals. Congratulations to you, big dog. McBride game away from having 2 in. Big ups to DD, D-Bro, Thor for A1 content. Shout out to you, my man, Kong the King, always in the damn building. Adam said, I was looking for DD page the last few days. This makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, Adam. So this channel, Wake Up, still on this channel, but it's going to be NFL draft and rookie focused. All the fantasy football stuff will be on the DD Fantasy Football YouTube page. And thank you for going over there to subscribe as well. Deshaun Jackson, head of Delaware State. Yeah, head coach. A lot of former players getting into the head coaching game. But let's start off by talking about the game that we saw last night. Caleb Williams and the Bears versus the Seattle Seahawks. Week 17, man. This is it has been an interesting start to the fantasy football championships. And one of the things that I've seen a lot of people talking about with the volatility that has been this NFL season is adjusting the fantasy football championship game. CeeDee Lamb, he's opting out, or the Cowboys are shutting him down, so he's not going to play for the rest of the season. You got a lot of players, just kind of Kenneth Walker on IR, bunch of stuff happening right now. But I see a lot of chatter on social media about changing when your fantasy football championships are, which historically have been week 17. Now we're talking about moving into week 16 to avoid this. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think? I don't have Jay Rich to riff off of today, so it's I'm going to be engaging with y'all. What do y'all think about that? Have you guys already started discussing that in your individual leagues about changing the date of your fantasy championships? Like, what do we do? I mean, Adam says it right here. We may need to move the chips back a week. Caleb's talking. Nick's talking about Caleb is brutal to watch. We'll get into Caleb. Someone says someone drop a link to the new channel. Doesn't come up. Search on mobile. I'll check with Jay Rich to make sure too, and we'll drop the link in here. If you've subbed to it, oh, they're saying drop the link in the chat. Yeah, I can get you. I can get y'all with that. I get y'all with that right now. But what do y'all think? Tell me about the fantasy championship shit. Are y'all gonna move it back? Are you gonna keep it where it's at, or is just what it is, man? You got to just deal with it. You got to be able to roster construct. Thank you, Jay Rich. I will get it in here in one sec. Jay Rich will put the link to the channel. I don't know why it's not popping up. But Collins says definitely something to bring up and discuss with the commish. I don't know. It's one of those things where I kind of feel like you've got a plan for this happening, for the week 17 shutdowns. I don't know, Dustin. You know, he said, how would this work with the week 14 buys? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't got the answers. All I know is you get down here to week 17, and I'm not even talking about like the Jalen Hurts stuff. The concussion, you can't help that, but players sitting out, teams, this Christmas schedule was wild. Having teams play on Sunday and then turn right back around and play on damn Wednesday. I mean, the Texans game, all these teams just looked exhausted. Like fundamentals out the window. We're watching Caleb Williams throw fadeaway jumpers, throw after throw after throw. And I just wonder how much of this is due to the fact that these cats just, they're playing all the damn time. And I know the NFL, they're getting the money. You're playing on Saturday, playing on goddamn Friday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. This was just a wild stretch down the stretch. And had I paid a little more attention maybe in the offseason about the scheduling and the tightness in which they play, maybe it would have gotten me out of a couple of situations. But a lot of that shit's revisionist history too. It's easy to say, oh, I wouldn't have played the Texans had I known, but everybody was in on C.J. Stroud to start the season. Everybody, not a soul said that there was going to be any regression. He was just going to continue doing what he did last year and smash, and we get to this point, it's, well, the O-line is banged up, and it's this, and his receivers are down. I don't know. It feels like the schedule is impacting some of the player performance at times, man. All right, we got a comment in here, a long one from Richie. Let me pull this up on the broadcast. Let's read this from Richie. Richie says, if you move it back a week, in some leagues, you'll end up with playoffs starting when buys are going on, so you're dealing with something either way. Some teams would have been missing Lamar this season. Yeah, I get it. I completely understand it. That's why I'm asking. MV Prof says, Wednesday games are just as bad as Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday games are insane, man. Insane. With CD shutting it down, do you trust Turpin? Not really. Not really. Not really. I don't. Very tough to navigate your question with games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Ronda Commander said, go back to Sunday and Monday. Less is more. I'm fine with Sunday and Monday. Thursday football, I know a lot of players and a lot of coaches and people say they don't really care for Thursday night football. And I totally understand what the NFL is trying to do, capitalize on the momentum. Look at the viewership between Christmas Day, NBA, and NFL. It's all NFL all the damn time. Money talks, bullshit walks. I totally get it, but it makes for, we'll see. We'll see. I'll just say the first couple of games that we got, and let's pull those up. Let's pull those games up, kind of talk about it, talk through it. And Jay Rich said he is going to put the link to the new YouTube channel in the chat. So let's pull that up. And let's start with the Caleb Williams game. So we'll work our way back. Bears, Seahawks, this was a brutal watch last night, 6-3. And let's start off with the most important thing. If you started anybody from this game in your fantasy championships, I apologize. You know, I pray for you because you got nothing. This was, you got nothing. You got 50 yards from Charbonnet, 50 yards on the ground from DeAndre Swift, $120 and a pick, 7 sacks from Caleb, $160, no touchdowns and 3 sacks from Geno Smith. The receiving game was non-existent in this one. If you started JSN, DK Metcalf, Keenan Allen, it was not a good outcome for you. Noah Fant led the way with 43 yards. JSN, after looking like the wide receiver 2 in the NFL behind Jamar Chase for the past month and a half, 3 for 30, 3 for 32. Odunze, 1 catch. DJ Moore, I guess he got you 11 points, 6 for 54, so you feel fine about that, I guess. This was just not a good environment for fantasy success here in the championship. And if you had JSN, if you started DK, prayers up if you started Tyler Lockett for some strange reason. It did not work out. And a lot of the conversation in this game isn't really around Geno. It's not around Kenneth Walker hitting IR. It's not around any of that other stuff. It's about this dude, Caleb Williams, number 1 overall pick, Caleb Williams. On the season, he's 14th in the league in passing yards, all right? He's 14th in the league in passing yards. He's top 15 in passing touchdowns, and he's got 6 interceptions on the season. Almost dead last in QBR, which is an important metric. But Caleb Williams, his play this season, his play, not just his play. I think a lot of people are also frustrated about how he's handling some of the media questions. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch what C-Dub talked about after the game, but they essentially, they asked him, how are you dealing with the boos and and the Boo Birds coming out in Chicago, and he said, hey, man, them boos ain't for me. This is a fan base and a city and an organization that has been frustrated long before I got here. That was Caleb. And I'm listening to him and I hear him. And I totally understand and agree with what he's saying, that the Chicago Bear fan base is probably a very frustrated one. But Caleb, you've got to take that accountability too. They're not just frustrated because of Jay Cutler and Rex Grossman and all these other quarterbacks of the past. They're also frustrated with Caleb Williams' play. Caleb was the first overall pick. Caleb was thought to be, or at least a lot of NFL analysts said that he was a generational prospect. Now, there were a few people, and I want to give them people credit. There were a few people out there this draft process who said, I don't know about Caleb Williams. I don't think he's the locked and loaded QB1 in this class. I think there are some real problems in his game about playing within structure. And you watch that, and you're watching the game, and you're just wondering, how many times could Caleb just drop back, hit the back foot, and let it go? Now, offensive line is not good, but there are a ton of offensive lines that aren't good. So I don't want to, let's not lean on the obvious crutch or the fence of the O-line being the problem. That's everybody's excuse for poor quarterback play, right? It's interesting how when the QB's playing poorly, is everybody else's fault. O-line, offensive coordinator, not enough weapons, no running game. Everybody else's fault besides the person that's behind center, taking the snap, executing the offense. Yes, all of those things impact the outcome. Yes, all of those things definitely influence the outcome of the play or the offense. But at some point, the QB has to make a play. I see Joe Burrow's offensive line looking like shit 90% of the time. He's running around, and I know everybody ain't Burrow. Bryce Young's offensive line has improved, but he still gets touched up. Every offensive line outside of Detroit, Baltimore, every offensive line, they're giving up pressure. Like there are no just stalwart lines where you're just gonna have all goddamn day to stand back there and dissect. Like, the defensive players get paid millions and millions of dollars as well. There are talented defensive tackles and defensive ends and edge rushers. So, yeah, man, just don't hit me with the O-line is bad. Caleb has got to assume and accept some of the responsibility on his own. I think that's the problem that people are, at least the frustration that I see, it's with him. A little bit of the play too, but a lot of the accountability on him. Now, Thomas Brown seems like he's in an impossible situation, and a lot of people were asking me, are these things that Caleb can fix? Are these fixable problems for Caleb Williams? And I would say, sure, but he is who he is. This is Caleb Williams. Go back to his time at Oklahoma. Go back to when he was at USC. He is going to make things interesting. There haven't been a lot of games where I can just remember Caleb Williams from college until now where he just takes a snap, drop back, and throw the ball. He's going to run around. He's going to extend plays. It's going to be helter-skelter back there. And that worked at USC in the Pac-12, and it worked at Oklahoma in the Big 12, but it doesn't work in the NFL consistently. Now, I do think that some of the criticisms, and he sucks and he's a bust. I mean, the dude's about to throw for 3,500 yards. This is what Kyler Murray does every goddamn year, and you're pumping him up to be the best and one of the biggest fantasy assets. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's still a very talented quarterback. That throw where he's rolling out to his left had no business throwing a crossbody, and it's a strike to Rome Odunze for a touchdown called back by a holding call. But he's got the arm talent. He's got the rushing ability. But he needs an offensive coordinator and a head coach that comes in that's bigger than him. Because right now, Caleb's the biggest ticket in Chicago. Caleb's going to outlast any coach that's on that staff, any coordinator on that staff. He knows it, and everybody else knows it. Poles probably knows it too. They need to get somebody in there to say, man, this is my offense. This is how we're going to run it. This is how you're going to do it, and we're going to be successful doing it this way. We're still going to allow you to have some of those off-script plays, do some of the shit that you like to do, but this is my offense, and you're going to run this offense this way. That's what you're going to do, Caleb. And I think that's what he needs, just a strong OC head coach to come in, help grow him. But right now, I mean, he's not good. He's not He's not playing to the level of expectation that people have set for him, but he's not good. I don't believe that Caleb is a bust. I don't think that he's unfixable. I don't believe any of those things. I think it's going to take the right coach that has the right level of credibility, credence, whatever you want to call it, to come in there and say, yo, I'm here to help you. This is how you need to do it. Let's get it done. And I think he can find some success. Let me see what y'all are talking about, though. See what y'all are talking about. Fields, Caleb, absolutely not. I don't know who the hell Baxter Carmadone is, but no. You're insane, man. No. In what world? Why would Fields over Caleb Williams? Stop it. Kevin says C-Dub holds the ball too long, plain and simple. Yeah, he holds the ball long. Got to get that out of there. Let's see. Make no mistake, when you have no O-line or OC, that matters. Again, no O-line? Come on, man. I don't know, Walt. I don't know about no O-line. I don't know about that. Clock management was bad. I think it's coaching. I think too many sacks in college and the NFL. Yeah, Danny, this is interesting. That pressure to sack rate that people talked a lot about a couple of years ago. Yeah, we'll revisit this offseason. Adam says Caleb's demeanor is whack. Every time he runs off the field, he's giving someone the stink eye. Yeah, man. That Adam being real, that's my thing. His vibe, his energy is not conducive. I don't think the energy is right there. And is that the culture set by the head coach? Is that an organizational thing, or is that a Caleb thing as a quarterback? And how do his teammates react to that? I agree. The demeanor and the vibes that come off of him during the game, during moments of turbulence, roadblocks, problems, things that he has to figure out, the vibe isn't right. I'm with you. The demeanor is not right. I'm with you, Stanley. He's no bust from a far from one. Same problem as Fields. He can't see the field. I don't know. See what else we have in here. Looks like he's trying to hit a home run on every play. It's no O-line, though. That GM's got to go. We think the Lions coordinator Ben Johnson can take that position and run with it. Let me ask y'all this. If everything y'all are saying about Caleb Williams is true, Joe, we ain't hating on Kyler, Joe. I'm just talking about his passing yards, damn it, Joe. But if everything we're saying is true about Caleb Williams, what you're saying is true, is not good, Fields is better, can't see the field, takes too many sacks, tell me why Ben Johnson would want that job. Tell me why Ben Johnson would want that. If everything y'all are saying is true about Caleb Williams, he's a bust, no good, why would Ben Johnson want that one? Wouldn't it behoove him to go to a spot where he could shop for his own groceries? And by shopping for the groceries, y'all know what the big thing is. It's the quarterback. That's the QB. That's what you're trying to shop for. If all these things are true, then wouldn't it behoove him to find his own quarterback and not inherit somebody in a situation that was built by, again, a GM and an infrastructure that you all think stinks? Caleb has to progress to know how to excel at protection adjustments and knowing his hots, where the free rusher is coming from. Yeah, that's a lot of QB play, right? A lot of QB play. A lot of comments on this one. Richie says Ben Johnson should not want that job. Don't think he does. I'm just asking the question, right? I'm just asking the question. And yeah, where's it at? Jason, get on her. Because she changed her Joe don't think I know who. She changed her damn profile picture. I'll find you, Joe. We will find you. This chat, we know you. You are a staple. We will find you. And yes, Joe is going to defend Kyler every time. I wasn't even hating on Kyler. I'm just saying Kyler ain't thrown for 4,000 yards. Stroud seems to be getting a pass. People love talking about Caleb and Stroud. Well, let's talk about CJ Stroud. Let's talk about CJ Stroud. 2-31. 2-31 versus Baltimore. Stroud, 17 for 31. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Stroud. Let's get this on the screen. Here we go. Stroud. 17 for 31, 185, one interception, sacked 5 times, right? Let's go. We know his line is bad too. It's all the O-line's fault. I wish we could get some former O-linemen on here and be like, yo, we're blocking for 3 seconds. The goddamn quarterback's got to throw the ball. It's his fault. I wish we could get some if there are any former O-linemen in the chat, you played in high school, you played in college, please come defend your O-line brethren, that it's not always the offensive line's fault. Sometimes the QB's got to get it out. O-line can't block for 10 seconds, all right? CJ Stroud, 5 sacks, 185. Lamar Jackson, we'll talk about him in a minute. We're going to stick with CJ Stroud. Stroud on the season. Let's take a look at CJ Stroud. He's 8th in passing yards, 36.77. He's tied with Caleb Williams, 13th in passing touchdowns, and he's got 12 interceptions, QBR, a little bit better than Caleb. But on the season, 62% completion percentage this year. Yards are there. Touchdowns, not quite is where we wanted him to be compared to last year, and the turnovers and the sacks are a big problem. We'll talk about it, folks. What's the issue? What is the issue? Now, I got a couple of takeaways from this game. You know, when you look back at Stroud's profile coming out of Ohio State, there were a lot of people who thought he was a product of JSN and Marvin Harrison and Garrett Wilson and Emeka Egbuka and all these talented wide receivers and running backs that the Ohio State constantly churns in. And, you know, he sits back. It's a quarterback-friendly offense. We've seen players inside of this same type of offense thrive, from Cardale Jones. We saw, J.T. Parrott found success at Ohio State. They've had a history of quarterbacks being successful at the collegiate level and then transitioning to the NFL. And what's the big thing? Oh, they don't translate. CJ Stroud sort of bucked that trend last year. A lot of people were very hesitant on Stroud. A lot of people were like, that's the one out of the A-Rich, out of the Bryce Young. It's Stroud the one that 5 years from now we'll look at as, that's the one that busted out. Rookie year, he was dominant. Smashed, came in, let the league on fire. Value from a community standpoint rose to epic proportions. Now, insert and come into this 2024 season, the expectations were sky high for this team that was, 2 wins away from a Super Bowl berth, 2 wins away from an AFC title, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl, I believe. Expectations were high for Houston, and expectations were even higher for CJ Stroud, who first couple of weeks of the season, he was right up there top 5 in MVP odds. Whether that was warranted or not, that is the expectation that people had for Stroud coming into the season. Now, we get to this point, and I saw Scott Connor post a poll, is he a top 12 quarterback? Believe at the time that I saw the poll, 60% of the people said no, he's not. Not top 12 quarterback. In one season, that's completely flipped on Stroud. I think he is. I believe that he is a very good point guard of a quarterback when he's got his full complement of weapons. When he's got his Nico Collins and his Tank Dell and his Stephon Diggs, all three of those wide receivers do something very different. And we talk about this a lot on this channel. Just because you've got an RB next to your name or a WR next to your name and you play the same position doesn't mean you have the same role within the offense. When I look at Houston now, I know a lot of people were like Nico Collins to the moon. Once Tank Dell got injured, prayers up for him. Terrible injury for Dell. They've already said he's probably going to miss all of next season. And Stephon Diggs' injury earlier this season, ACL tear, another one, just devastating. Nico Collins was just going to explode to this, he's getting 20 targets. And I highly encourage you all, if y'all want to just stay in tune what the hell is going on, come be a part of the community. Come be a part of the community. Go to ddfantasyfootball.com, join, get inside the Discord, go to Patreon, join, get inside the Discord. I talked about this on Sunday night with our Discord community that for me, I really wanted to see Nico Collins' usage. How is Nico going to be used these final few games of the season? Because I got a strong suspicion they're about to retool this wide receiver room. And that doesn't mean Nico Collins is going away, but what I wanted to see is for his role to change. With Tank Dell being down, with Stephon Diggs being out, I wanted to see Nico Collins just go out there, run the short intermediate shit, get peppered with underneath targets, and still do his big play down the field, explosive stuff that Nico Collins always does. And that didn't happen. Nico did what he always does, which kind of, if it plays out in week 18 the same way, I'm telling you right now, this idea that Nico's going to be the one to get 200 targets next year, I do not believe that's going to happen. If they don't feed him this next game, I really believe that Houston's going to go in this offseason and they're going to prioritize that position. Not because Nico Collins is bad, but because Nico Collins does what Nico Collins does. He's a downfield monster. He's a red zone threat. But this short intermediate work, some of that stuff that Tank Dell was getting, some of the stuff that Stephon Diggs was receiving, Nico's not getting that. And I think for Stroud, not having those other options there, it hurts him. Just like it would hurt any other quarterback not having Jamar Chase on the field, not having CeeDee Lamb on the field. So this idea that Stroud is cooked, what happened was Stroud had an incredible rookie year, and then we, the people, elevated him to Mount Rushmore of the NFL way too quickly. You got into bed and you busted a nut before you even put it in. That's what happened with C.J. Stroud. He's still a very good quarterback, very talented quarterback, can make all the throws. He's not going anywhere. His status as that team's leader is there in place. Yes, the offensive line needs to be improved, but more importantly, I think his weapons need to get better, and Joe Mixon doesn't help either. Yes, Joe Mixon, one of the league leaders in rushing yards, 240 carries, 1,000 yards on the season, 11 touchdowns, but it's inefficient. It's inefficient, and it bogs down the offense, putting Houston in long down and distance situations with options that can't get open quickly to win, to move the ball downfield. So no, I don't think C.J. Stroud is cooked. No, I don't think C.J. Stroud is done. He's going away. I think this is a team build issue right now. He needs his weapons. Yes, the offensive line can get better, but more importantly, when you're trying to get the ball, goddamn John Mechie and Robert Woods and Xavier Hutchinson, when those are your league leaders or your team leaders, probably not that great. Probably the offense isn't going to be that great, and that's why you put up 2 damn points. Houston, they're going to make the playoffs, but this is not, it's not a true contending team, man. It's not a true contending team. Let's see what y'all are talking about before we talk about the MVP. Before we talk about yes, I said it, the MVP. Let's see. Alex said Joe Mixon already in Cancun. Man, I forgot, man. God damn it, Jimbo, it is Freak Off Friday. And I forgot all the intro. We're going to have to run this back. We'll just have to go live again later. Here we go. Let's see what we have. Is Nico more Higgins than Jamar Chase? I don't know if I would say that, Jeremiah, but I think Nico is Nico. Nico is incredible. He's a downfield monster. He's got a dope role that's going to score you a lot of points. But is he, everyone keeps saying like Julio Jones. I don't think he's Julio. Julio can do it in all 3 quadrants, short, intermediate, and deep. I think Nico Collins is more of your deep to intermediate guy, but those short area underneath quick stuff that just, those cheap points, right? Those cheap Tank Bell points, those speed outs, those in-breaking routes that are behind the sticks. I just don't see Nico doing a lot of that stuff. And if he's not doing a lot of that, C.J. Stroud needs that, then they're going to upgrade that position at some point, whether that be through the draft or free agency. Sell high on Nico in the offseason. Richie, I'm just talking about the theory that we discussed, right? If Nico is not fed like this Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson type receiver, if it doesn't happen here in week 18, I'm going to be a little more cautious in the offseason. That doesn't mean I don't want Nico Collins. I want him, but I'm not about to draft him inside. He's probably going to be a top 10 pick, right? Underdog next year, he's probably going to go inside the top 10. They're going to kick. Garrett Wilson gets kicked out. Marvin Harrison gets kicked out. Breece Hall probably is not in the first round next year. Nico's going to be in there, and he's going to be awesome. But I am going to adjust the expectation. I study this shit. Like, every receiver's role is different. And what we've seen, Nico's role is Nico's role. And there's probably nobody better in the league than that at that role. But he ain't taking everybody else's stuff. They need to find somebody else to do what Dell did and to do what Diggs did. So, yes, if there's an opportunity where somebody's going to say, Ray's crazy, Nico Collins is getting 200 targets next year, he's going to lead the league in receiving, I want him in this offense, then I would sell high. I would bank against that happening, not against Nico Collins being a good player, but against that range of outcome, because that is just not what they've done with him. It's all schematic. It's all schematic in design. See what else y'all talking about in here. J Rich in the chat, but not on the show. What are we doing? Dylan, don't get me started. Don't get me started. You know, it's the holiday. I would like to take a break too, but you know what? Y'all are more important. The people, this show, what we do is more important than taking a break. Jay Rich has got his feet kicked up right now. Did he at least put the damn link to the new channel in the chat? Dylan, let me know if he did that. Let me know if he need that. Richie said fair. Just curious. He was leading the league in everything before missing time. Okay. Yeah, for a little bit he was. And when he was leading the league in everything, Scribbles, he had everybody there, right? Y'all, listen to what I'm not saying Nico is bad. In this offense, the offense needs the other pieces so everything else can work in concert, in beauty, and thrive, and flourish, and be fruitful. When you eliminate those things and all the focus is isoed on one, what does that look like? We're talking about what's happening right now, not what happened weeks 1 through 5 when Stephon Diggs was there and Tank Dell was there and the O-line was up. We're talking about where we're at today and how that might impact him in the future. If you want to bank on what he did the first 5 weeks, then just disregard everything I'm saying. I'm looking at what is currently happening in Houston with 2 of their starting 3 receivers down and out for 2025. What's going to happen in 2025? I can guarantee you this. It ain't going to all be Nico Collins. You can take that shit to the bank. However you want to weigh that, I promise you this. It will not just be Nico Collins in this offense because it's not working. They can't move the ball down the field with the O-line and with the lack of pass-catching options on the outside. You're not going to win with number 14 Wayne and Robert Woods and Xavier Hutchinson. They got to upgrade. That's all I'm saying. We're looking at the context of the situation, not the talent of the player. That is it. That is it. That is it. Nico is still freaking dope, Scribbles. And yes, I want him. But no, not in this range where I'm going to draft him like he's going to give me Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase levels of outcome. That is all I'm saying. Lamar, is he the MVP? A lot of discourse on the old on social media about Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. I have not looked up the odds. Let's look up the odds real quick. I have not looked up the odds. DraftKings MVP odds. Let's see today. Where are we at? MVP award. Ooh, baby. It's tight. Let's pull it up. It's tight. DraftKings. Here we go. Josh Allen minus 200. Lamar Jackson plus 155. I have no clue where this was prior to the game on Wednesday. I'm curious where it was at prior to the game on Wednesday. Just looking at some of the other odds. Saquon Barkley plus 1,400. Goff plus 3,500. And Joe Burrow getting a lot of pump that if the Bengals make the playoffs, then Joe Burrow should win the MVP. Sam Darnold still plus 10,000. So it's looking like a race between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And this is honestly kind of a coin flip. This is a coin flip. And if you look at the numbers, right, aren't there some graphics out there that show Lamar Jackson's numbers compared to Josh Allen? And I believe he has bested him in every single thing. Yards, passing yards more, passing touchdowns more, rushing yards. He set the NFL record for most rushing yards by a quarterback, taking down Michael Vick. Who's the MVP? I want to ask y'all. I want to know who the MVP is. Before the game, okay, here we go. Now we got some information. Thank you, Alex. Before the game, it was Josh Allen minus 400, Lamar plus 500. So it's split. I mean, it chopped it down. If Saquon breaks the rushing record, he should win MVP. They're not going to give it to him. They're not going to give it to him. I'm not even saying you're wrong, but not a chance. Not a chance. That he'll win Offensive Player of the Year, but they're not going to give a running back MVP. They're not going to give a running back MVP. Giants front office for MVP, yeah. Lamar, best quarterback in the league. As a Lamar MVP ticket holder, hell yes. All right, well, you're a little biased, John. I want some non-biased opinions here. Who do y'all think it is? Is it Allen and what he's done in Buffalo? And let's not forget just how good. Let's pull Josh Allen up. Or we'll go Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. Because This is the race, right? This is the race. Pull it up. Look at Fantasy Pros. Look at this. I got freaking fantasy points. We can look at this. You got QB1 versus QB2 in points per game. It's just fantasy stuff, right? But it's got all the other information. Completions, Lamar Jackson more on a couple of fewer attempts, literally neck and neck. Completion percentage for Josh Allen, 63.8%. Lamar, 68%. Lamar Jackson, 39.55 passing, damn near 4,000 passing yards for Lamar. You're telling me this man's got 4,000 passing yards and almost 1,000 rushing? 39 TDs passing, 39 passing touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. 39 to 26 for Josh Allen. 4 interceptions for Lamar. 6 interceptions. 4 goddamn interceptions for Lamar Jackson. Both of these quarterbacks, Lamar sacked 23, Allen sacked 14. And then Josh Allen's got 11 rushing touchdowns to Lamar's 4. 12, 20-plus yards to 6 for Josh Allen. 6.6 an attempt, 852 yards, 130 rushing attempts. Who's the MVP? I mean, I thought it was over. I thought it was Josh Allen. You know, after week 14, after week 15, I was like, oh, it's Josh Allen. And then Lamar goes out there, breaks the record. 2 more passing touchdowns, another rushing touchdown, breaks the record. Who is it? Who is it? Patrick says Lamar has better numbers. Josh Allen is elevating his squad more, in my opinion. Okay? I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think the combination of Lamar and Derrick Henry have elevated this Baltimore Ravens offense. I think Josh Allen is doing more with less, but the numbers are very impressive for Lamar. If you're just looking at the numbers, it's hard to say. It's hard to say that Allen is the MVP over Lamar, even though I kind of agree with you, Patrick. I think what Allen is doing with his cast of characters in the AFC, along with Lamar, I think it's a little more impressive, but Lamar's numbers are stupid. I mean, he's going to finish with 850-plus rushing yards, 4,000 passing yards, 4,000-plus passing yards. It's hard not to go MVP for Lamar Jackson, and 4 interceptions, which is insane. Insane. Here we go. A lot of comments here. Keegan says it's Allen, and it's not even close. Colin says Allen MVP. Wyatt says, Ray, what happens if Saquon blows out the rushing record? You'll just be pissed off because they ain't going to give it to him. You know it, Wyatt, and I know it. They're not going to give it to a running back. They just need the best quarterback. They need to separate awards. They're not going to give it to a goddamn running back. No analysis-based stats, but I think there's some Lamar fatigue, and they'll give it to Allen. Okay? All right. Dylan says, hard part about MVP is Allen is the only reason Buffalo is where they are. Lamar can be the reason, but Baltimore is more balanced. They don't have to entirely rely on Lamar. Josh Allen has done more with less. Richard, I don't agree. I don't disagree with you. I do think that Allen has done more with less than Lamar. Darnold wins out against Green Bay and Detroit. He secures the number 1 seed. He has a major case. Absolutely, he has a case, but he ain't going to beat the allegations. Like, the case ain't going to beat it. It's Sam Darnold. They won't give it to him. No chance. Best thing for Darnold is if he could win out, what would be great to see is him get his flowers, be voted to the Pro Bowl. We know the Pro Bowl game stinks, but those nods and those accolades on your contract negotiations, they matter. So hopefully Sam Darnold, I mean, he should be. You look at the NFC, Goff is going to make the Pro Bowl or be voted in. Like, first vote in, Goff will get voted. Darnold should get a vote. Darnold should be one of the 3 quarterbacks, and that helps for contract negotiation stuff. So hopefully he gets his first Pro Bowl vote, not alternate. He gets voted in as one of the quarterbacks for the NFC. Hopefully he should. Rhonda says Lamar should win it, but voter fatigue. All right. Let's see. Lamar deserves it. It's regular season, not playoff MVP. It's Lamar. I'd vote Allen. He got .193 more points last week. And let me go down to the bottom. Let's see. Okay. MV Prof says, disagree. Baltimore would not even be a playoff team without Lamar, especially with that secondary and lack of receivers. Darnold extension incoming. I don't know. He literally hasn't done more. He hasn't, and he doesn't have less. You're talking about Josh Allen? I would venture to say that the infrastructure in Baltimore is more. I mean, Todd Monken in his second year there, they did not lose 2 wide receivers from their offense. They have not had a down year from their tight end position and inconsistency from a tight end. Their leading receiver is Khalil Shakir and James Cook. I do believe that Baltimore has more than Buffalo. That's no slight to Lamar Jackson, but I think that their talent and what they have offensively, collectively as a unit is better than Buffalo. Yeah, I do. I still think Lamar should get MVP. The numbers are dope. Josh Allen, we'll see how he finishes it out. Who do they have this week for Buffalo? Who do Buffalo play this week? The Bills have a Week 17 opponent. Buffalo, Arizona, Buffalo and the Jets. So a home game against the Jets. This is a game where the over-under is 47.5, and Buffalo's favored by 9.5 at home. So this should be a pad the stats type game for Josh Allen. He should be able to go out there and make it happen versus this team. It's interesting looking at Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers and their numbers, right? Pretty identical. This is I didn't realize this. Aaron Rodgers 35-11, Josh Allen 35-49, 26-24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions to 6. Pretty identical from a passing standpoint. Breece Hall, what a disappointment from Breece Hall this season. 187, 774, and 5. Drafted him as a top 6 option in all formats, and been a little disappointed from old Breece Hall this year if you were relying on him to be a hammer running back for you. So there's that game. We talked a lot about Baltimore, CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson. I still think Lamar, give Lamar the nod. What he's doing, 4 interceptions, 4,000 yards, 850 rushing yards. Incredible season. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, 15-1, locked up the number 1 seed. We know what it is. That's what they do. 29-10 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go to the box score, talk about this game. Patrick Mahomes, I hope you all were out there, were able to buy low on Patrick Mahomes. You know, there was a lot of panic and fear over Patrick Mahomes 5-6 weeks ago that he was cooked. Offense was ruined. Mahomes is broken. He sucks. When you needed him in the fantasy chip, 320-3. Got you 320-3 with no Rashee Rice, a hobbled Hollywood Brown, an old Travis Kelce who showed up. I mean, goddamn, if you needed him in the fantasy championships, he showed up. Vintage Kelce, 8 for 84. But the player I want to talk about is Worthy. Xavier Worthy on the season right now. 59 receptions, 638 yards, 6 touchdowns for Xavier Worthy through the air. He also has 3 touchdowns on the ground and 104 rushing yards for Xavier Worthy. Hey, 3 straight games, no fewer than 9 targets. This was a player that I continue to tell people, RELAX. Relax. The usage was there. If you trust the Trinity, which you should, if you're watching this and want the tool to help you navigate the wide receiver and tight end position with absolute ease and simplicity, go to ddfantasyfootball.com. There's a link in the description. You can try it out for 50% off. Trust the goddamn Trinity. The tool continued to pop with Worthy above the threshold line. He's right there. Worthy. And all of a sudden, once the young rookie starts to figure it out and the offense says, damn, we might need to throw the ball to this young man a little bit more, you get good production. And I do think that this offense next year, I hope they bring Hollywood Brown back. You get Rashee Rice back, Worthy in the fold. It's a nasty wide receiver core. A nasty wide receiver room that could put Patrick Mahomes right back on the map as far as that feeling and that value in this game of Dynasty. But Worthy was always a don't panic player. You're out there, oh man, I missed the boat. I missed all of this. Yeah, you missed it because you didn't trust it. And I continue to tell people, this This is an offense and a player that you need to bank on. Xavier Worthy got it going, and he showed up for you when you needed him most in the fantasy championships. On the other side of the ball, looking at the pass catchers, George Pickens, man. There's a lot of stink on old GP right now. A lot of stink on GP. A lot of people saying he's dogging routes. He and DK Metcalf seem to be in this dog route category. 7 targets, 50 yards for Pickens, no touchdowns. I don't know. Pittsburgh seems like they have the strangest luck with the wide receiver position. GP is incredibly talented. You look at his trinity, the usage is there, and it's still below that line. Russell Wilson's play is tailed off. Najee Harris got it going finally after Jaylen Warren came in and was stealing work. But this is one where I don't know really what to think. And now you see people on social media saying the Steelers should turn back to Fields, right? That's the narrative. Bring Fields back. I don't know, man. I would not do that. You know, this is, I don't want to call Pickens this fake alpha, but it's the part of the game that we can't, no tool, no analyst, no analysis is ever going to be able to guard against just human nature and what that individual is going to do or not going to do. Our scouting can't make George Pickens go out there and run the damn route right. It can't make DK Metcalf finish the play, stop getting personal foul calls. We're just basing our analysis and our advice on whatever information is persistent or available to us. GP's a good wide receiver, but he's got to get it together, pull it all together. This is a team that, as I've done mocks for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know Steelers fans say, oh, we don't need another pass catcher. We drafted Roman Wilson. I think you do. You need another playmaker out there, whether he's opposite George Pickens or George Pickens is opposite from him. You need somebody else in this offense. And I think this end of the season stretch for Pittsburgh kind of shows that long gone are the days where you can just go out there and shut down teams with great defense. You better be able to create some goddamn explosives. You better be able to have some players that can get down the field, win right away, because George Pickens was not able to do that in this game. And Kansas City exploited them. They did whatever they wanted offensively, and they did it with absolutely no run game whatsoever. Kareem Hunt led the way with 20 yards. Isaiah Pacheco, since coming back from his leg fracture, has been dust. He does not look the same right now. Maybe this is something where in the offseason he gets back to looking to form, but another reason why I continue to mock a running back to Kansas City in the mocks that I do, because amongst all the other positions, there are no explosives in this backfield. Even watching Pittsburgh with Najee and Jaylen Warren, there were moments where you're like, man, if they could just complete a pass, they're getting way more than enough from their running game. 202 rushing yards and a touchdown on 31 carries. I'll take that type of efficiency opposed to 20 for 69 on the Kansas City side. I do think that running back is going to be a position that they heavily consider this offseason. They could use someone like Deontay, talking about Pittsburgh. Yeah, they probably could. So who knows what the hell happened with that situation? Only Tomlin and the people in that building know, Patrick. GP has not earned the right to be a diva. Yeah. Yep. Russ stinks, but I don't know if he should get benched. Stop hating Fields, Ray. I don't hate Fields. Fields deserves a starting job next year? Really? Will, you believe that? You believe that? All right. Been a minute since I could hop on live. Great to see the shows again, Ray. Most definitely, Evan. Much love, my guy. Pickens had some big plays called back. They're always called back. All the big plays are always called back. When will a non-rushing QB ever win MVP again? Probably when Patrick Mahomes wins another one. And Joe said, I wasn't selling Mahomes at all, but you know good and well, Joe, that was the narrative. A lot of people were. Get me out of Patrick Mahomes. This is it. I want out of Patrick Mahomes. Fantasy playoffs, Mahomes rarely disappoints. Yeah. So Chiefs beat the Steelers. They get a nice little vacation. They get a nice little break, and they're 15-1. This weekend, we got some games tomorrow. We got the Chargers and the Pats, the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals, as well as the Arizona Cardinals and the LA Rams. So we got 3 games with a lot of players in each game that we're depending on. Drake May, Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey from the LAC side, and apparently J.K. Dobbins is back. So Dobbins probably back in your lineup as well. When you're looking at the Denver-Cincinnati matchup, y'all know who you're starting. You don't need me to tell you. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, roll them out there. Desperation flex, I think Yoshi Voss is in play. Really wouldn't want to fool with any of the tight ends on either side of the ball, from Denver or Cincinnati. Denver side, Cortland Sutton, fire them up. Running backs, I really don't want to. Javonte Williams catching a lot of passes, though, if you got to. No Marvin Mims, no Troy Franklin. Book line, 2.5 receptions. Can't play around with Troy Franklin this week. And Bo Nix. I mean, say what you want. Bo Nix is going to score points. He's going to score points since his defense a little bit banged up right now as well. So you got to roll those guys out there. And then Arizona, L.A. Arizona, L.A. I mean, this was supposed to be one of the bigger Week 17 slates with all the players. You got Kyler, Stafford, Kyron, Connor's going to play, McBride, Marv, Puka, Cooper Kupp, all these assets that we were excited about. We're starting Kyron Williams, James Conner, no doubt about it. Trey McBride, we're praying he's got more than 2 receptions in this one. Puka Nacua, you're rolling him out there. Marvin Harrison Jr., yeah, you're playing him, you know. You're going to play him. The expectation level is low. Although the last time I believe Marv played this team, the last time they played, he went off, I believe. I believe the last time they played, Marv had a big game. When was this? Goddamn week 1? When did they play? When did they play? Week 2. Yeah, week 2. Yeah, Marv, 130. I think he had 2 touchdowns in that game, too. 130. Yeah, 4 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 130 yards. So we are back in on Marv again this week. 51 for 726 and 7 touchdowns on the season. Disappointing year. Disappointing year for Marvin Harrison Jr. Disappointing year and not looking like the generational prospect that people said. And yes, I promise you we will not use that word around here. Not this draft season. Can't do it. Can't do it. Buffalo, New York, we talked about that a little bit. Fire up your Bills. And Devontae Adams didn't practice the past 2 days, but I think he'll play. Fire up your Jets. Breece Hall included, yes. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's viable. Tennessee, Jacksonville. What's the total in this? 39.5. Yeah, Ridley and, Ridley revenge game. BTJ, 73 for 1088.9. Calvin Ridley, 56 for 857. Tony Pollard, another 1,000-yard season. And would you look at that? Goddamn, Tank Bigsby leading the Jacksonville Jaguars in rushing yards. I'm firing them up. Bigsby, Pollard, ETN, BTJ, Calvin Ridley, Chigo Okonkwo if you need him. Not starting the quarterback Mason Rudolph. Not messing with Mac Jones either. Can't do it. Will not do it in Week 17. We ain't going down with Mad Mac at the QB helm. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Tennessee, Jacksonville going over. Josh, I have no clue. Yeah, Gene, I'm going to fire up that chick, man. Ray, did Ridley do well against them last game? Let's see what Ridley did. I don't know what the hell Ridley did. Ridley didn't do... Ridley had 12 targets, which I like that. The game was 10-6. My God. 7 receptions, 59 yards. Yeah, I'll take that. If he's just going to get peppered like this, Jay Rich, I'll take Ridley. I'll take those 12 targets from Calvin Ridley for 59 yards. Hopefully he'll get some more yardage, but I'll take the opportunity there. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Penix over Caleb? Oh, Lord. Oh, boy. All right, Will. Now let's go here. Let's talk about this. Will Clark, my man Will. Will says he's got the quarterbacks ranked. He's got Jaden Daniels first, Drake May 2, Michael Penix 3, Caleb Williams 4, Bo Nix 5. Let me just ask y'all, why is Bo Nix always 5th? Why do we still hate Bo Nix? What has Michael Penix done that deserves to put him ahead of Bo Nix right now? Outside of not liking Bo. And this is a real question. What has Penix done that Nix hasn't done that gives you more confidence to put him 2 spots ahead? We talked about this on Monday. I said if the NFL had to redraft today, I do think that the number 1 overall pick would be Jaden Daniels. It would not be Caleb Williams. JD5 would be the number 1 pick. My question is, who would come off the board as QB2? Would it be Drake May? Would it be Caleb Williams? I think they're probably, again, The draft analyst who talked about Caleb Williams' issues with playing within a structured offense have been 1,000% validated. They have. You could talk about the O-line, all of those things. He's not, right now, that's not what he had to do at USC. He had to play Superman every single week. So you need to get a coordinator in there that's going to reel it back in, right? Sam Darnold was awful. And then you get with Kevin O'Connell, and they're like, yo, this is the goddamn offense. Run it this way. And we're talking about Sam Darnold being the future quarterback of the Vikings, in a $50 million contract, being a Pro Bowl player, MVP consideration. Like, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. And by and large, he's got, a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He's top 15 in the league in passing yards. He's inherited a bad situation. I believe things are going to get better. And this idea that Fields is better than Caleb Williams after you've seen Justin Fields play quarterback or lack thereof for 4 years is maddening. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Richie says BTJ in list. Okay. Oh, this is where it came from. Let's do a quick redraft of the 2024 players in Superflex, tight end premium. JD5-1. Agreed, Joe. Joe, I'm going to disagree with you on 2. I'm putting Brock Bowers 2. If you're saying this is Superflex, tight end premium, I'm thinking 2.0, Joe. If you're like 1.5, then we could talk about it. 1.75. I think I'd take Brock Bowers at 2. It'd be JD5, Brock Bowers, Drake May. She's got JD5, May, Bowers, Neighbors, BTJ, Nix, McCarthy, Worthy, Marvin Harrison Jr. Man, Marv all the way down at freaking 8. Joe, get your ass up here. Where's Joe at? Because I know you are the Kyler Truther 101. If you've got that much faith in Kyler, Joe, how do you have Marv at 8? Tell me why you have dropped Marv. Why are y'all fearful of Marv? Has it been the faceplant rookie season, or do you just think that, and this ain't the dude that we thought he was? Like, from the play on the field, speed, the athleticism, the ability to separate, like, this is not the guy that we thought he was. Is that where this trepidation on Marvin Harrison is coming from? I'm truly curious. Truly curious. Man, this is a great rookie class. No Odunze, no Caleb Williams in this remock, no Lad McConkey in this remock. What a great rookie class. If I had to say top 5, it'd be JD5, Brock Bowers. I would take Drake May. I like Drake May. Caleb Williams is still there. Like, Caleb Williams 4, Malik Neighbors, BTJ, and I would personally, would take BTJ ahead of Malik Neighbors. Bo Nix, I'm fine with Bo Nix at 6. JJ McCarthy at 7. Worthy is top 10. And it's so funny. When we were talking about X Worthy, I'm like, yo, this is a dude that needs to be a top 5 receiver. If it hits and if it works, people are going to love him. And KC, with his speed, the way they can use him, would you look at that? 17 weeks in the NFL season on GQ, nailed another one. Xavier Worthy, hell yeah, Joe. I think he's definitely inside that top 7, top 8 range, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let me go to the chat. All right, Joe said she responded. I know my girl would. I still believe in Marvin Harrison Jr. Will take a big step next year, but this year he's bad. I mean, she's just calling it like it is. Like, I'm still going to believe in the second-year breakout. Not good this year. Baxter said Marv not the dude we thought he was. Stanley says I still like Marv. And then Jay Rich said this is what you get when you have players stay back and develop. It's not a bad thing. Ooh, Bucky. Where the hell does Bucky go? Man, if we really redid a 2024 mock and took some time to list out all the goddamn players we might not be thinking about, like, Bucky's got to be inside the top 10. Terrell said he would still take Marv over Nix and JJ. I don't know. Scribbles, Marv is having a fine rookie season. People need him. Had him as a round 1 redraft pick. It wasn't up to expectations, but far from bad. I'd take BTJ and Neighbors over Caleb. Oh, but Jay Rich, Bucky doesn't need to be discussed. Bucky's inside the top 10. I mean, he's the best. He's far and away the best rookie running back in the class, far and away. And I'd venture to say, if you look at the combined classes from 23 and 24, he probably slots in 4th. right behind Gibbs, Bijan, Achane. They're all in the same tier. I don't think there's some, at this point, I don't think it's Bijan Robinson in a tier of his own and then everybody else. I think Bijan, Gibbs, Achane, all in that same cluster. And I think Bucky Irving might be fourth. I'm thinking through, making sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Yet Charbonnet in that class. There weren't a lot of running backs this year. Brooks is out. Yeah, I think Bucky would probably be fourth. He'd be right after those three of Gibbs, Achane, and Bijan Robinson, and Bucky Irving's right there. Sam, gotta love Worthy, sure, but that's Rashee Rice's wide receiver room when he's back. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works. Yeah, this class is something else, Joe. You're absolutely right. And Ladd. Yeah, and Ladd. Jay Rich says, would you take Bucky over Genty without landing spot? Hell no. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It has nothing to do with how good Bucky is, but how high the expectation level and the quote-unquote value will be for Genty. Jay. People are going to do. I know it's been fatigue with Ashton Genty. We've heard about him all year, 29,000 rushing yards, and you're just like, anybody but. Who do they play? Whose Boise got? Who's Boise State play? I should know this. Who do they play? Who do they play? They got Penn State. Penn State on Tuesday. He goes out there and shreds that Nittany Lion defense. It's going to be a wet stain in those sweats. I'm telling you right now. People are going to lose their ever-loving mind the moment he's selected in round one. He's a missed-tackle monster, size, speed freak. Not from he's big and 6'2", 230 pounds, but at his compact size, his mass and the speed in which the athleticism that he's going to have, he's going to look freakish. He's going to look and test really good. I think people were going to lose their mind over Genty, and if he hits a landing spot like Dallas, I hope not, or LAC, or Minnesota, or Cleveland, or one of these offenses that want to establish it, Bucky would be dope, but people will want Ashton Genty. And what I can do, Jay, is take my Genty and parlay that into Bucky Irving plus. So I've got no point rostering Bucky over Genty, but I would want Genty over Bucky just for the fact that I could do more with him down the line. Line is 130.5 versus Penn State for Genty. Yes, it's going to be a good game. Abdul Carter versus Ashton Genty. This will be his toughest match. Baxter says, what level of prospect is Ted McMillan? He's the wide receiver one in this class. And I believe he is very comparable. And I know people want to go Mike Evans, Dre, all these. I think he's very comparable to T. Higgins. A T. Higgins that's going to stay healthy and be on the field. When I see him, and I'm being realistic with his outcome or who I think he could be at the next level, I think he's like T. Higgins. I think he's and I know that may not sound great today because we know T. Higgins is only good for 11 games a season. But as a prospect coming out of Clemson, T. Higgins was a fringe first rounder. Had not been for that COVID year and some other stuff, I think he kind of falls into that round one range. He's a very reminiscent of a T. Higgins level of prospect, which is a first round caliber talent that can be a wide receiver one in the NFL, which T. Higgins can be. I think he's in that range. He's more T. Higgins than Jamar Chase. I would say that. More T. Higgins than Jamar Chase. Don't they play Penn State? Yeah, we're back to that. Will C said Higgins feels like a great comp. Yeah. I don't want to go to freaking Mike Evans. And it's easy to say that 11 years into Mike Evans' career. I suggest anybody go back and watch that Texas A&M season with him and Johnny Football. Special. Don't let Big Mike today fool you. And y'all saw that catch he made where he full extend. Go back and watch Texas A&M with Big Mike. He was a different cat, man. Different cat. Let's talk Tet compared to this class. Where would he go? After Ladd, Worthy, or Odunze? He would go ahead of Ladd McConkey for sure. Not saying that's right, but let's go. Let's not think about where they are now. Let's think about where they were as prospects. He would go ahead of Ladd McConkey. He would probably go ahead of Xavier Worthy and be right there with Rome Odunze as the 3-4 off the board. If I'm being correct. I think it's 3-4 off the board. I'm okay with Higgins. Evans is a Hall of Famer. Crazy talk. Yeah. ADV alone puts Genty ahead of Bucky, 100%. Just give me the ADV. Give me that artificial dynasty value that people are going to think Genty is far and away superior than Bucky Irving. Mike Evans made Johnny. All I'm going to say, Pat, I ain't going to say none of that. All I'm going to say is when people throw out comps to Mike Evans, go back and look at what he did at Texas A&M. It's different, man. Different. All of the 2024 rookie QBs over any of the 2025 guys. Ray, would you take Cam Ward or Caleb? Caleb. I think Shedeur is the QB1. I know a lot of people don't for whatever, and I just don't get it. I mean, you listen to him in his press conference from the Alamo Bowl. They're asking him repeated questions. He's like, yo, my team is up here. Like, let's talk to them. These guys wouldn't be here if all these questions were going to go to me. You hear him talk about his teammates in depth. They asked him about his wide receivers and why NFL teams should draft. He's a leader. Like, this dude has been around professionalism at the highest level his entire life. Like, he's not a fucking idiot. He's a leader of men. He's an excellent quarterback prospect. This enthusiasm for Cam Ward, who I think is a good quarterback prospect, but yo, it's his third. I think he's fine, but this idea that he's far and away, I just don't buy it. I think there's a lot of, and people will not admit it, there is some unconscious biasness going into this hatred of Shedeur Sanders. Oh, well, it's his swag. It's the bravado. Get the hell out of here. That's why you don't like him. But this idea that Ward is far and away, I'll believe it when I see it. If he goes top 5 and Shedeur falls to round 3, I'll shut the hell up. You know, I won't say another word about Shedeur Sanders, but I don't believe that's going to be the case. I don't think Ward is better than Shedeur Sanders. So no, I would not take Cam Ward over Caleb Williams because I would not take Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders. I would not. No, I would not do that. Sanders and Ward are both stars. I think they're both good quarterbacks. I think they're both good quarterbacks. And yeah, everyone will have their preference. I've watched a lot of Cam Ward. 2 years at Washington State, people said he was undraftable last year. Now he's the number 1 overall pick, where all Shedeur has done every step of the way is improve and get better and better and better and be a surgeon out there at quarterback. I don't think it's even close between those two personally. But I would take Caleb Williams over both of those guys. But I've said this. I would take Baker Mayfield over both of them. Jared Goff over both of them. I would take those guys over both of them right now. Sight unseen. They both go top 3, and I would still take those guys over those two quarterbacks. I think they're good quarterbacks in the NFL, but are they... Bryce Young, I think, is a good quarterback. I think he's good. I think he's fine for what the NFL wants to do. There's a big difference between being a good, competent signal caller and being a difference maker for what you and I are talking about, right? Scoring fantasy points. And yeah, I will take the guy that is a little more protective of the football and has been more protective over the football over the course of his career in Shedeur Sanders. Ward has the arm to play in New York. Shedeur and Neighbors going to be fired. Cam or Shedeur over Penix, Nix, or JJ. I would take Penix, Nix, and probably JJ McCarthy over both of them. Probably. I see it now. I don't want the black box unless the black box contains a prospect that I think is of the caliber to be an elite difference maker, which JD5 did have that because he is mobile. Caleb Williams does have that because he is mobile and has an incredible arm. Bo Nix, whether you love him or hate him, he's got ceiling because he will run. He's in a good offense tethered to a great head coach that the offense is going to build around. Like, I really think the Bo Nix slander is going to come back to bite people in the ass a couple of years down the line when he's still starting, putting up points, and you're like, damn, man, Bo Nix every week is just QB8, QB9, QB11, QB5 this week. There's something to those situations that I would prefer over what's currently happening, especially in Las Vegas. I don't know what the Raiders are doing. And to be honest with you, Raiders might not even be in a position to get either of those guys. It's looking like Tennessee might be in prime Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders territory. Raiders winning games, ain't got no damn business winning, falling out of draft spots they need desperately. So I would take Penix, Nix, and J.J. McCarthy over both. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. All right. Ain't nobody selling Caleb Lowe. I'd buy Bitcoin for $50K too. Yeah. Same, Scott. Same. And you see the mannequin chill on the screen. If you're here, you weren't here at the beginning. If you weren't here at the beginning of the show, in January of 2025, we are taking our fantasy football content to our new fantasy football channel. Wake Up stays right here, but we will be on DD Fantasy Football at DDFFB on YouTube. Scott and Shane, new show. Dynasty Theory, back. Ray G, back. We're going to have a show that all we talk about are the draft. Mock drafts, rookie drafts. It's going to be a draft, fantasy football draft show. We're going to have that on this channel. On the channel that you're currently on, Ray GQ, this is where all the NFL rookie prospect profiles, Wake Up will go nowhere. Wake Up will be right here. But when we do the giveaway, remember I talked about a giveaway on Monday? Man, I got unreleased stuff. You know, when you're creating merch and you're trying to find like stuff to sell and merchandise, you get a whole bunch of things, right? And some of the stuff you're like, oh, I don't like. But I've got like these these white all gas Texas hats. I got some of these joints that we need to give away. We got all the team. We got all the team stuff. I know it's been a down year, Niners fans, but we got brand new stuff. We're giving all this shit away. All this shit away on Sunday. And we're doing it on the new channel, DDFFB on YouTube. That's the new fantasy football channel. I will be live Sunday as we sweat out. Hopefully Scott will join us. But our Underdog final teams, Week 17 live sweat. I am currently in first place. Your boy's in first. Let me show y'all, because y'all know y'all probably think I'm bullshitting. But first place of the Badge Bro final, right? They got me in there. First place on that. And Scott Connor is top 20 in the marathon. Grand prize on that is $300K. I'm in top 50, so we're going for that $300,000. I'm trying to hit that $50K. So pull up. We're going to have some fun. We'll talk start sits. We'll talk football. And we're giving away all this shit on Sunday. So we'll start the stream on the new channel. You have to be subscribed there. And we're going to have a damn good time. So I appreciate everybody pulling up. It's just, there it is. You can see it in the background a little bit. There's the team. I'm trying to send it to the computer on the show so I can show y'all, man. Stunt a little bit. You know, I feel good. This will be the first one I take. Now, I told y'all I was going to win one of these. People need to know we don't play around when it comes to UD. Here it is right here. Here's the team. So we got Bijan Robinson left to play. We got A-Chan left to play. Chase Brown, Tajay Spears, Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin. I got Jaden Daniels, Lamar at quarterback. Tight end was Andrew. So we got a good squad here. OGQ's got a shot. So make sure you pull up. Check us out live this Sunday as we sweat this thing out. Give away stuff to all the viewers. And then if you had not checked out the Caleb Johnson piece, Jay Rich did a phenomenal job editing this prospect profile series. Doing it a little bit different this year. These are prospect overviews. After the combine, we'll go through and do some more in-depth film sessions, but these are overviews to give you an idea of who these players are, what to expect when you come to the combine. And I promise y'all, when we put out this draft guide here in 2025, it's going to be unlike none other. Me and Jeremy from Dynasty Daddy are doing some dope stuff that y'all are going to love and appreciate. I promise you that. I saw a super chat come in from my dog Stanley, so let me get to that real quick. Stanley said, can you ask Underdog for a DD BBM season-long tournament? They're giving me one. We're going to make that happen. I thought about doing a college one, but I like the marathon style, so we will get a DD team tournament from Underdog Fantasy, especially when I win this goddamn tournament. This Badge Bros ain't going to have no choice. They're going to have to hook it up. So, Stanley, yeah, that should be in the works this year, my guy. And then Cody P, $20 super chat. Appreciate you, Cody P. O-line, Ray G, helped me get to 12 championships and 2 third brackets out of 20 leagues this year. Your content is awesome, man. Appreciate you, man. Whatever we can do to help you get to the championships, man. And I'm glad you were able to get to 12 of them things out of 20? Let's go, baby. Good stuff. Good stuff. Stay locked in. It ain't just me. It's the family, though. It's the Chad. It's the Joes. It's the Stanleys. It's the Alexes. It's the Wyatts. It's the Leos. It's the Ties. It's the Terrells. It's all the people that show up, whether it's 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 9 a.m., it's all the family, man. So I appreciate everybody in here. I hope, yeah, I got bread. The team is good. The team is good, but we got to see. We don't want to count the chickens. We don't want to count the eggs before they hatch. But I just want to say thank y'all, for real, from the bottom of my heart. Y'all hung in there with us all season, man. We changed websites and had to do all kinds of crazy stuff, just trying to figure out this content creation journey as we go. And as we embark on this new path in 2025, I promise y'all one thing, the level of content, the quality of content, the consistency of content in which you all will get from me and my team, I promise you we will not let you down. So make sure, if you stuck around to the end of this one, that thumbs up button, like the content, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out, gives us more opportunities to grow and put on better production, and pay Jay Rich some more so he can show the hell up on shows. And most importantly, man, subscribe to the new channel, because all of our dope creators that are going to provide you Dynasty-specific content, redraft content. We got a team of 3 cappers that are going to do bets for the offseason, because I know y'all ain't got shit to do, right? There's nothing to do. So we got Brandon, Gene, and Gump that are going to provide betting content as well on that channel. So make sure you subscribe. Enjoy football this weekend. We got mock drafts next week, more prospect profiles, and hopefully Jay Rich will show up to do the show with your boy. I love y'all. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. We'll see you bright and early, probably around 10:30 a.m. Central Time, or maybe I'll go a little bit earlier on Sunday so we can start the stream. Giveaways will be set up. Subscribe to the new channel. You have to be subscribed to the new channel, because we're going to make you comment underneath one of the videos to get entered into the giveaway. So make sure you do that, and I'll see y'all on Sunday. Enjoy. I'm out of this thing. Peace.